My sincere thanks to Dazza the cameraman and his friend Marcus Pamarcus for manning up and taking my Chicago Mirage challenge, and for confirming my assertion that the only basis for claiming that the Chicago skyline in Joshua Nowicki's photo and time-lapse is a mirage is the fact that we wouldn't be able to see it on their alleged ball Earth. Dazza's acknowledgement was clear and to the point.
My case is simply this. How does Tom Coombs know that that is a mirage in the background and not actually Chicago? Any ideas?
Yeah, well, I think it comes down to the point that you correctly made is whether it should be visible or not.
Marcus's acknowledgement was a little more strained.
Hey, Mark, do we see a picture of a Chicago skyline from Michigan? Yes, we do. Is it a mirage or is it actually Chicago? Which one do you say?
It's a mirage.
And what do you base your conclusion on? Nothing in the photo, right? You've just admitted there's nothing.
Yeah, but again, it's a flawed question. If the only question is it real object or mirage? If that's the only question, then it's a flawed question.
So what did you base your conclusion that Chicago was a mirage on?
Because it is.
That's it, huh? Just because it is.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point of my challenge, and I'm glad you said those words, my friend.
It's a flawed question.
Yes, I understand the question's flawed because you can't answer it or the challenge. But anyway, the point has been made. Chicago skyline is a mirage. Why? Because the Earth's a ball and we shouldn't be able to see it that far. Well, guess what? That is Chicago. And the time lapse proves that out. Unless you want to think, if you want to believe a mirage of Chicago is just going to hang around in the same location for hours and hours through all different, did you see the clouds coming and going? The sun came out and then went away and all that weather going on. And that mirage stayed there for hours and all the way into the night when then the mirage itself miraged again. Now, if you want to believe that, then you're welcome to that belief. But I think it's ludicrous, and my point's been made that the only reason you say Chicago picture is a mirage is because you believe in a ball Earth, and therefore it must be a mirage. Because if you were to admit that was actually Chicago, there went your ball Earth. Well, guess what? Open-minded people realize that's a picture of Chicago, especially when they look at the time lapse. They know that is actually Chicago looking across a very flat Lake Michigan.
So thanks again to Dazza and Marcus. Now, how about you, Mick West? This time-lapse spans many hours. Is it really rational to assume that a mirage of Chicago can hover on the horizon in a very stable condition throughout the day and into the night, and then mirage a second time, so that we're looking at a mirage of a mirage here? Instead of continually repeating a bunch of words about the ludicrous notion that the effects of refraction can be anything close to standard, why not just answer my challenge point blank like Dazza did? Why not just come out and admit that the claim that this is a mirage of Chicago, and not Chicago itself, is based entirely on the fact that we wouldn't be able to see Chicago from this distance on a ball Earth and nothing else whatsoever?